I am Dr. Mother Love, your even more fabulous Dr. Mother Love, coming to you with a wonderful, absolutely talented, the cat. He can do all. Most of us are like Jamaicans, and this is a powerful, up to the Jamaicans because Jamaicans ain't. They hard workers, and this is for all hard workers, and this is a hard working man. Let me introduce you to Prime Blaq. Prime Blaq is a producer. He is a songwriter. He's everything man and a performer. Welcome to the program, Mr. Prime Blaq.
Well,
First thing I
thank
want to
you.
know, where did you come up with the name Prime Blaq?
It's just one of them names that just spoke to me. It was my energy that carried me through that, and it stands for please remember I make energy. And so the energy that I bring into every room that I come into, I captivate everybody. And so I try to just tell people, in the moment that we here all together sharing this beautiful human experience together, just please remember I make this beautiful energy to try to bring us together, make us laugh, make us love one another again. I'm not going to be here. You might hate me, you might love me, but just know that I meant well when I was here left on this earth.
And you're doing well.
Thank
So
you.
you how long you been in the game, and what were you attracted to in the music industry specifically?
So I've been making music since I was 13.
Oh, can
And
you speak up just a little bit?
so I've been making music
There we
since I
go.
was 13.
Hmm.
And I decided to get more involved in it, when my mom got sick. And I felt like it was a great avenue for me to just voice not only my uh, journey in life, but be a kind of a conduit for the experiences of everybody around. Music is, especially hip hop, is like a lyrical newspaper for the Black struggle in America, and that culture, resonated with me, and the influence of it resonated with me enough to where I just wanted to pursue it. I wanted to push it. I wanted to better my craft. I wanted to see how far I can push it. And so I went to school for media productions. That's what got me involved into doing, different production for TV, radio, films, and video games. I started
Hmm.
making jingles for radio stations, your talk show, your
Oh,
radio show.
just wait a minute. I
Uh,
don't mean to cut you off, but
yeah,
I
yeah.
just want everybody to know that when you hear the jingle, the moment has arrived. This is the cat that wrote it. This is the. I told you he did. He's like Eminem. People don't think he exists. He does exist.
Yes, I
So
do.
talk to us about your family. Where you from? What was like growing up when you were like? Because you said you started music at 13.
Yeah.
So let's talk about from when you were a little guy. Tell people where you're from originally and what
So
your life was like.
yeah, I was born in Long Beach, California, and we moved around a lot when I was young. Bounced from city to city. It's just one of those things that happen when you're a single parent, trying to make things happen. And so that got me involved in music just from the struggle around me. And I just felt like I was the voice of the people around me to, you know, put music out. And so my upbringing was all crazy. So it's just more than what this broadcast can talk about. But for me, I definitely would say it was a beautiful story. How all of my experiences in life kind of molded the music that I make now. I make like a lot of the reality music, reality rap, but I also make the fun music. I also make my ratchet music, but I also make the conscious music. I feel like I'm very versatile in my ability to just create one chapter of music, one page of music. Through each song, and so people can relate to it, or kind of find some commonality in that part of it. But my upbringing was just a lot of struggle, just a lot of learning, a lot
Now
of
you said your
growing.
mother was a single parent. Do you
Yeah,
have brothers and sisters?
yeah. I'm the
Where do you
oldest.
fall in line? Oh, you're the oldest.
Yes, I'm
Okay,
the
so a lot of
oldest.
responsibility
Yeah.
fell on your shoulders because you are the oldest.
Yes.
And did you feel like you had to grow up fast so that
Oh,
you could help your mom and your siblings?
of course you have to. You have to. You don't want to see. Nobody wants to see their mom or parent struggle in any capacity. And as a kid, it doesn't resonate to you until you develop that introspection of seeing, like, why is my mother struggling, or could we do better, or how could I help? And that was my thing. It was like, how can I help? I didn't want to wallow in the resentment and the misery of the struggle of, like, oh, my father's not around, like, life sucks, like, I'm gonna blame everything on everybody and not do anything to worry about the significance of my own walk and journey and destiny. And that, regardless of that upbringing, it doesn't, it molds me. It's a part of my identity, but it doesn't, yeah, you don't have to be a victim in your environment and your situations in life. And so that's what I took charge of like being a leading by example of like, hey, live life with no fear and don't sell your mustard seed. Do not sell your mustard seed. The faith that I've had now is the same faith that I had when I was a kid, and it's never swayed, and it's got me to this blessed point in life right now that you cannot give up the faith that you have in life. Like that's the one thing God has, the Most High has walked me through my steps in every capacity that I can ever think, and I'm just so grateful and blessed. I can say it's just,
And he will continue to do that
yeah,
for you as you are growing up. And this is a brutal business that we're in,
yeah,
and because they could give a flying crap about you as long as you're doing what they need you to do, doing
hmm,
their bidding, and then it's like, okay, let me mean to see your piece,
hmm,
and then they're done with you. And as a young Black man in
yeah,
this so divided country, on pick a level, it could be families being fragmented because there's only one parent in the house, and
hmm,
that's a lot of burden on the people. Don't see, and these guys that have these kids, you have these kids, and then they that they need you, but you just walk away because the responsibility is too big, or
hmm,
you simply don't trust a God, even because people will waver and they'll fall down. All of us fall short of the glory to
hmm.
get back up. When you see all the craziness that's going on, especially when being a young Black guy, because they could pull you over for BMW, black while driving.
Yeah.
And how have you been able to? Because it is like a dance. And how have you been able to maneuver yourself through this divisive community that we live in called the United States of America? Not be involved in gangs, not be involved. Well, I shouldn't say that. You got any kids?
No kids, no
You
kids.
not married? You ever been
Not,
married? How many
no,
times you been married?
not married, not no kids yet. I didn't.
Oh, so you do want to have kids?
Yeah, yeah,
You're
of
just waiting
course.
for the
Why
right
not? Yeah,
person
you
to
just got to.
find you, and you find them.
Yeah, I wanted to be responsible with that responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
The example set for me in my own life's experience. And you always have to kind of like honor thy mother and thy father, because it's like God is the greatest comedian of all time. It's like when you live your life, and then my father like didn't. He was not there, and it's like to see him want to change his life and want to be there at the end of it, and then get your life taken away. It's like, oh, I'm gonna change your life, and then I'm gonna take your life. So it's like, God, you're the greatest comedian of all time. But
Oh,
for
no
yeah,
doubt.
for me, I used all that as the fuel, to kind of take charge and lead by example. So for me, I wanted to lead by example and break in any of those like normal stereotypes that people can always been like polarizing of over our community. It sucks because you got to work 2 times harder to get half the reward. And so for me,
Two,
I
10.
10,
Be
yeah,
the last one hired, the
um,
first one fired.
so for me, I'm constantly working harder on the job than everybody else. I was getting better grades than everybody else. I was grinding with my music harder than everybody else. I've been to 46 states. Even in the last year and a half, I've been to 46 states promoting the music or motivating. Now I've become a motivational speaker as I've gone across this country and influenced a lot of people and empowered them to do better. So the music has cultivated into a bigger than just the music. It's the connections that I have with people. So for me, like things that I've gone through in life I've become a orator of
Mm.
the experience to kind of help create empower people with the solutions instead of because I feel like every time we have a conversation with somebody around the world, it starts off like, yeah, the weather is nice, but then, oh, let me trauma dump all my problems onto you. So I understand if you're going to do that, but okay, there's a point. We get to a point where it's like, okay, we need to talk about the solutions. So
Mhm.
for me, like
Exactly.
that's what a music in my space where I had to maneuver through that. I didn't get a lot of chances. A lot of people didn't want to hear the type of music that I was doing. But now that years have passed, people have been like, oh, we need your specific type of music. We need your specific type of energy because people are out here hurting. People are out here hurting. They're dealing
Is
with
that
they're dealing with grief. They don't know how to deal with grief. They're struggling with that. They don't know how to hold on and have the faith to not give up on your dreams and your goals. Like this, to be at this point, this is not giving up. I've gone through every emotion. If you're an artist out there, producer, songwriter, engineer, I've gone through the same emotions you are going through right now. The main thing is you cannot sell your mustard seed. You have to keep on going regardless if you're working that 9 to 5. If you got to do that 9 to 5 to get you to the next level, that's what it take me. Like I said, I wear many hats, but to maneuver through all of this, it's like you can't just, it's a marathon, just like Nipsey Hussle said, rest in peace. It's, you got to keep on going. And so even in the industry may not like you, you're going to get rejected. You got to embrace being a freaking loser. Jordan lost, but he still got 6 rings. So that was my perspective that I took. That's the
That's a
perspective
good
that I
one. That's a
took.
good
Like,
one.
yeah, I mean,
They wouldn't even let him play. They said he was so
yeah.
bad at basketball, they wouldn't even let him play on the high school basketball team.
And that's when you
And
show
you
out.
never know where the championship is going to come from. And that's where a lot of people will underestimate, especially in this industry. When it's, see you, oh, you're beautiful, chew you out, spit you out, and then you have no foundation. Will you talk, because you're doing this and you've been doing this for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
How has the music industry, the business of show business, how have you been able to keep it moving? Because it seems like they change their mind every day. What's the who's the artist of the jour, that's the artist of the day, who are they and how long, and do they have sustainability? I mean, I see a lot of these artists out here and they're like, okay, they're fine for now, but what about 10 years from now? You've been doing this since you were 13. So
Mm-hmm.
then if you're even are you in your 30s? I'm
Yeah,
just guesstimating.
37.
So you've been doing this. You got some solid foundation.
Yeah.
How important was that for you to keep yourself grounded in who Prime Blaq is and where Prime Blaq comes from and what his message is going to be out there? Talk to especially young people, about the importance of, like you said, don't lose your mustard seed and having a foundation on to build whatever you're building on. And I like the fact that you brought up, the same thing that the recording artists are going through. You've gone through that, and you continue to go through that. What the engineers do, because a lot of our kids in our community, they think, oh, the only thing I could do is play basketball, be a rapper or musician. And to let them know that there are other important jobs just as well, because if you don't have the people behind you who believe in you, who see your vision, and you go from, one place to another place, and you don't have that core foundation, talk to us about the importance of that core foundation. I gotta get some water. I'm listening.
That core foundation starts with God, family, and the love for yourself. I think that's what, at the end of the day, that's the core foundation that you have to start with. As long as you don't sway away from that and let nothing crack that, you'll be fine. And as long as you hold on to that, know that God is your ultimate strength. Your family is your greatest support system, and you can always lean on and believe in yourself. And so having to maneuver through that, that kept me to where I didn't have to. There's pros and cons to it, because you got people who got deals and stuff like that. Like, I've done my own independent thing, my own entrepreneurial thing, and the game has changed. I'm okay with the change, because the systems that were in place were not in the benefit of the artists of yesterday. All those Motown artists, to be able to see the Music Modernization Act change to the game, to see the digitization of the music, where those artists of those Motown days have the ability to be able to monetize their music in the streaming world that we have in now. We don't have those vinyl records and things like that. So we have to be able to kind of create that apprenticeship even for our OGs, because our OGs will look at it like, oh, this game is changing or anything like that. But now we're giving the apprenticeship to you guys, getting put on game to what the new game is, for what is supposed to really help you guys. Because we always get stuck in this tradition, this American traditionalism of where, oh, I wish things go back to the old ways that it was. Like, the old ways that it was is that
you don't want to go back to yesterday.
The old days, none of those artists were getting paid. None of those artists had any of their music. So when you look at
masters,
I
was reading.
I own all my masters.
That I was reading an article the other day about some of the, I call them the younger artists, because they are younger. I'm old enough to be their great auntie. That's probably going with that one. That they're selling their musical catalogs. Katy Perry just sold hers for $22 $225 million.
Hmm.
Justin Bieber sold his. How does that benefit an artist to sell their because what they're selling is their masters, or are they partnering with them? And do they still keep them on because they are this what was their music, but now it belongs to another company? How does that work?
There's so many different variations. Like, it really comes down to what is in the paperwork.
Mhm.
Because an artist like that, okay, Katy Perry has made millions of dollars. She's
Mhm.
very
Hundreds
successful.
of
It's
millions.
under, and so comparison to an artist like me, say if I was just this, for example, I was a completely starving artist and I was wanting to sell my catalog for $1 billion. That's literally me selling all of my babies for $1 billion, knowing that I can make a bunch more babies. So that's the perspective that you can look at it. But the babies that you do have are the babies that got you to where you have gotten to. And so under that, if you started off as an artist and you got a record contract with somebody and you gave them all your publishing, all your rights and stuff like that, and they own the song outright. Now, if you're an artist where you saved all your pennies and you saved all your pennies and you made enough money to be able to buy your masters back, now you're buying your masters back now because we live in a licensing and digitized streaming world. Now you're able to, now because you own your masters, now you're getting 100% of that publishing back. Now you're getting 100% of those royalties back. Now, because we have so many different avenues and platforms to be able to expose your music to, now you're getting all of these different monetary flows coming in from the metaverse, from Spotify streaming, from NFTs. You can go from where your music is getting played in elevators and cruise ships, inside of jukeboxes that are very prevalent inside of bars. So
Wait a minute, wait. They still make jukeboxes?
they still got electric
So
jukeboxes.
maybe there's hope, because
There's very much hope.
I had heard that the music industry has been talking about reviving vinyl records. You know, because everybody still calls them an album, but it's like on a jump drive. Is it really an album? But it is an album. And what's your take on, the way the industry has changed, that they don't seem too much to depend on the actual artist talent, because they'll say, like when we make movies, if there's a glitch, in the dailies, they'll go, oh, don't worry, we'll clean it up in post. And so they have all of this digitized music and things that they can do with the computer now. Is that cheating?
To an extent. I mean, like I said, it's different variation. Everybody got their different style of how they want to do it. You have people that want to put themselves out there and create content where the labels or anything like that kind of mold that person, and that's cool. But if you're able to be in control of all of what you do, then that works better for me, because now I'm able to own my masters. I'm able to be in control of what I want to do. There's so many different ways and platforms. Like, it's cheating because you can reach everybody in the flick of the click of a button. It's harder to get out here and be in front of a human person, a real person, and convince them that, hey, I am a dope person, not only musically, but just a great person in general. Do you want to support me? That's different than creating a whole video concept, cutting it, putting filters, effects on it, and stuff like that to make it seem real glossy for the masses. And which is that's genius. So we have to give a lot of this credit to a lot of my generation and the generations to come, because they created different ways, and you can't, like, there's a little jealousy in every whatever, but for me, like, I have to
What are
give
people
credit.
jealous about? Wait, what are they jealous about?
Because they didn't
Little
invent it.
jealousy.
Because somebody did it better than them. Because somebody created it, somebody invented it, somebody brought it up, or anything like that. So the the culture that we live in now is people that don't want to see things thrive and survive, that are actually great utility to our industry, not only this industry but other industries as well. When I look at the ability to massively promote to people on these different platforms now, that's genius. We didn't have that before. People would have actually had to have a record deal or actually gone on the Chitlin circuit to actually promote and perform in all of these different clubs. Now, because it's been a blessing, because when you look at COVID, when I went to the Grammys and then Kobe passed away, rest in peace, Kobe, and then the world shut down March 3rd of 2020. I performed I perform at all of these small live venues, local bars and stuff like that. So when that shut down, that killed the whole bar industry. And so that allowed people to like blow up and go viral in the span from 2020 to 2023 right now. Um, because the avenue of the network of the internet has made way for that. Comparison to people had to really get out here and walk the streets and slang their CDs. Like
I've
that's
seen them. I see them down in downtown LA
mhm,
in the alley. And for those of you who don't know about the Los Angeles alley, downtown LA, if you love to shop, you will go down there
mhm,
and lose your mind. I've seen, and some of them have been very, very good. You know,
mhm,
when you see the guys out there, you know, and the girls out there uh, selling their wares out the trunk of their car or out of their jacket pocket or
mhm.
whatever, and working to survive, working to move up into the music industry. And it has changed a lot. And like you said, it is it better? And I ask about cheating because I like live music. I like to go to
Mhm,
places and be entertained. You know, I want them to just show up and show out.
mhm,
I went to see one artist. I mean, big name artist, wonderful. I was so disappointed when I went to their show. They comped us tickets and I wanted my money back. And it was just all she was doing was just standing in one spot, and her voice did not sound like what her records are. And I'm of the mindset, because I'm still old school, when you're an artist, a performing artist, a
mhm.
musician, and you come out on stage, to me, your recording should sound like you do on your out in public. You what you're singing out in public is what you do in the studio. And I see what's done in the studio is like really watered down. You know, nobody really plays with, or I shouldn't say that. Do our musicians still using full orchestras? And is that, you know, is that going to cut them out as well? Because we can digitize the music and just play it like you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's convenient to digitize the music in comparison. And like I'm the type of artist that would love to have an orchestra and be the conductor like that. So people do appreciate the nostalgia of that. So yeah, vinyls never went out of style. You know, they just weren't talked about. These music venues, when you have artists that it's different when it comes to the performance aspect and recording, because you can actually be in that setting. But it's a lot of moving parts when it comes to live music. So
Mhm.
yeah, you may want that person to sound like they do on their record, but the microphone or their speakers may be blown out at the venue that you're performing in.
So you
So
got to be prepared. What if
yeah,
it doesn't work?
that artist may be prepared, but the music venue that they're going to there's technical issues that pop up. If the system goes down, if the artist is not prepared, then it turns out to be that way. So it happens in the moment that you don't know. We all don't
Mhm.
expect it as an artist or as a fan. We're just hoping that it goes right, and the artists we're hoping that it goes right as well to be able to give the fans an experience. So when it comes to that, like, I want to be able to be the person, the ambassador to revitalize the not only the local and regional and national live music circuit scene, to give the three-tier level for artists to be able to excel from local to regional and national. If you're able to captivate your local audience, where we should be able to have venues that be able to cultivate our artists across the whole country, and that's what we
Mhm.
don't do. That's what causes people to stay inside of the house and stay on the internet and do it that way, because I was one of those artists that will go to every bar, go talk to every single manager and owner, and these people know who I am. They see me all day, every day. They know my business card. I
Mhm.
talk to the security guards, the bartenders, the waitresses, and I go talk to the booking promoters, everybody inside of those music venues, to be like, hey, let me get on stage. And you deal with a lot of politics in that aspect. You deal with a lot of issues where, if an artist doesn't have any fan base, you got to pay to play system. You got to sell tickets, which is, of course, what you have to do, because you need to put butts in the seat. But when when you dealing with a streamlined system where um, the suffocation of the local artists, uh,
Oh,
that's what we're dealing with, because the big names have big money to be able to it didn't highlight the local artists, so that's what we're dealing with. And then you see artists that get on stage and, because it's conveniently to where they can make a check, that passion and the enthusiasm in that music to be able to perform at your top tier all day, every day. Sometimes that doesn't consistently sit with an artist. You may have just rested on your laurels. You may have enjoyed your success a little bit too much to where, you're like, well, I don't got to give my fans the whole performance. Well, this person is seeing you for the first time. They've been a fan of you for their whole life, and then they see you and you give them a horrible experience. I don't want to do that to none of my fans.
You don't. You can't. You cannot, because and especially we're in any business. And I like the fact that you say you will talk to the bouncers, the waitresses, the people, the bartender, because those are the people who were going to spread the word for you and about you. And when they have a pleasant experience with you, they will share that, and they will also share if you was full of sugar honey iced tea. You know what I'm saying? And they will tell people, and they even came up with a word called wait a minute, I'm gonna call it cancel culture. If you got a funky attitude, or you did something sideways to somebody, they will go on the internet and rat your butt out quickly. And just as well as you went up, and people don't want to do that. But when an artist is rude and surly to a fan that you probably will never encounter again, why would you not make that the most pleasant thing that you could do for that person in that moment? And they'll remember it. Remember Dr. Maya Angelou, God rest her soul, she said, people won't remember what you say. People won't remember what you do. They will always remember how you made them feel. And when you can make them feel, passion, make them reminisce, make them want to go forward in your music and your words, that's where the power is. And they will go tell everybody and their mother, oh my goodness, I met Prime Blaq. Oh my goodness. He was so cool. Oh man, he was so smooth. I don't know why he ain't got a girlfriend. You got a girlfriend? Because I could introduce you to people. I almost said I could pimp you out big time. You're a nice looking fella, and you do have a beautiful, beautiful heart. And sometimes when you have that heart, do you feel like people are taking advantage of you, or do you feel turn that into a learning lesson? Even when they do like rotten things.
I mean, both. I try to give people a chance because I've been given so many chances. So, but it's only so much you can take from anybody. It don't matter who it is, whether it's your mama or the mailman. You got to be able to have boundaries and put us and protect your integrity. So, that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Still my heart. Am I listening to an artist, a musician, a producer? Oh my God. Oh, wait, honey, go get the smelling son about to pass out. He just said you got to have integrity in the music business.
That's just in life. You might not have it.
This much integrity.
Oh no,
they'll cut your throat just as soon as they look at you.
And that's every industry.
That's every industry.
I think
I used to drive a school bus, and one of my co-workers ran me over with a bus. He ran me down with a bus. I was so glad I was a big girl, because when he hit me really hard, and I hit the gravel, and then I was able to bounce back up. And I said, well, if I can bounce back up and there's nothing is broken, I was just bruised. I was like, okay. Because of something that I said. I was right, but sometimes, right doesn't really get you where you need to go. And people will, challenge you and tell you what you're doing is wrong. Have you been challenged in the music industry?
Yeah, I've been challenged to do a lot better now. Like I said, like the fans are going to keep it real. They're not cutthroat, but the industry is cutthroat. But you can really see the realness of that cutthroatness, because it's a cutthroat business, which is understandable. But that, like I said, it's every business. For me, the fan base is what helps me out. That's what challenges me. I've been challenged by, some celebrities who said my music sucked. But then I got people who I can sit here and go to New York and play one song on a block and create a whole block party out of nowhere, and seeing everybody and their grandma dancing to my song. And that makes me feel good. Just like even my performance that I have coming up this Saturday at the Commerce Casino.
Let me introduce it. Okay, you just jumping the gun. You're talking fast and everything. You talking fast, and I'm hearing slow. I'm hearing slower. I'm hearing what you're saying.
But this challenged me though to do this show.
Now let's talk about your show coming up on September 23rd at the Commerce Casino and Hotel. I can say it right. It's Muay Thai Kickboxing. That's it
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, Muay Thai Kickboxing. Now tell us how you got involved in this event, and you will be performing at the Muay Thai Kickboxing event.
Yes.
Tell us how you got involved with them, and who are you involved with there? How'd that happen?
So at this event, this is called the Cali 48 Girls Night Out 3. And this is an event that is promoted by Big Troy Promotions and Tova Sports, and with their sponsors and other productions as well. And so I got involved with this. Shout out to Troy.
What's up, Big Troy?
He gave me the blessing, to do this. I've been coming to his shows and supporting him. I actually do Muay Thai kickboxing. I've been involved in the art since I've been in college. Since '05. So I've been
Okay. First time I ever heard Muay Thai kickboxing was from you. Tell people what that is. And why they need to come out to this show for the Girls Night Out 3.
Yeah.
So they've done this 2 other times then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a big believer in self-defense for men and women.
Mhm.
And so for me, I got involved in it because I just loved the action movies as a kid. And so there was a movie that just sprung up in me, which was by Tony Jaa. He's from Thailand, called Ambak, or Tom Yam Goong Protector. That's the American name for it. But Muay Thai is just a great, fascinating art form that allows you to use all of your 8 limbs. So which is your left hand, your right hand, your left elbow, your right elbow, your left kick, your right kick, your left knee, and your right knee. These are the American rules. You have other rules where you can use your headbutt or anything like that. But
Wait, you use your head?
Yeah, that'll be the 9th.
I mean, like button heads with see.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just amazed. And this is going to be women kickboxing, or is it men?
This is a co event where you have male and female, but the whole event is majority women Muay Thai kickboxers, and so they will be the headlining of this event. And so it's awesome because you're going to be able to see women showcased in that form where most feminine women would be like, "Oh, I don't want to do that," but
you're not on me.
Yeah, you hitting on me. Everybody got a plan until you get punched in the face. So all of these women that come out to the club and they look pretty and they run their mouth and they in their high heels and then they get knocked out.
In the ring.
They get knocked out at the club. These are women who don't take this serious, who don't actually apply themselves to be able to protect themselves. These women actually apply themselves to protect themselves in every capacity. And so because they train, they have the confidence and the capability to actually get in the ring, to actually showcase the talent that they have, that they've learned. And so that's the beauty about that, not only in this industry, but every industry. We all want to showcase our talents. And so these people are going to be on stage inside of a ring, physically trying to impose their will on each other and to be able to come out victorious. And so for me to be able to be in the middle of this event and in a sport that I enjoy, that's been it's been my therapy because of the things I've gone through in my life. Muay Thai is pain. When you get kicked in your ribs and get kicked in your head, that's painful. Just like life is painful. Life is painful.
You're doing this on purpose. You're doing this on purpose. And I'm always fascinated about women in sports and everything. I love sports, and that's why I have been very interested in learning and understanding and sharing with other people about what Muay Thai is. And is it just for adults, or should you start that earlier? And can it be taught to children? I see the karate schools and the judo schools and the jiu-jitsu. They still do jiu-jitsu.
They do all of it.
Okay,
they do everything.
So Muay Thai is it a Chinese-based sport?
No,
where did it come from? Japan?
This came from Thailand.
Thailand.
Yes. So this is an international, global fighting style. Just as much as every other fighting style is all global. Every fighting style is complemented by the next fighting style because it's an art, it's a science, it's a physiological expression of physics. It's for us to be able to move and contort our bodies in those fashions. It's fascinating. And they start from birth over in Thailand. They start from
Mhm.
little kids, and they train harder than adults that over here. So and I think it's very fitting for you to start early with anything. No different if you're a kid. If you're learning how to do your ABCs, you should be able to learn how to defend yourself. No kid should be able to get bullied if you be able to instill
And
this
show them how,
ability to
teach
be
them
able to
how to
cheat,
protect themselves when they're
protect
not with
themselves.
you.
Exactly. Because I know what it is not to be able to protect yourself and be defenseless, and your innocence violated in that capacity, to where you looking at somebody and they're imposing on you, but you have not developed the wherewithal and the capabilities to be able to defend yourself like that. That's not okay. I feel like everybody should be able to have that accountability to look at themselves in the mirror and say, hey, I don't want to get bullied. I don't want to feel like I can't defend myself. And so when it when it look at it as an art across the whole country, it's adopted and it's bigger than it's ever been. Martial arts, mixed martial arts, is bigger than it's ever been. I've been a major boxing fan, football, a sporting, just a physical fan of sports like that. But when it comes to Muay Thai is so beautiful because of the artistry of the impact, the power, the ability to be able to utilize all of your limbs. That's when it comes to a fight, especially in a street fight. If you're fighting somebody and they're not fighting fair, you want to be able to know how to use all of your extremities. But when it yeah.
I could never understand people saying, fight fair. Fight, no, you fighting to win. I'm
Yeah.
not fighting for it to be a draw. I'm planning to open up a can on you. Matter of fact, two of them on you. And to me, there's no such word. No, they just don't go together. It's a fair fight.
That's
No,
all.
it's
That's
not
a
a fair fight. You,
there's
just
a
like you just said, you
separation
gotta
of it.
use all of your tools in
Mm.
your life toolbox, and say, I'm not gonna. This is not gonna happen. This is not. Matter of fact,
And that's
this
the
can happen.
that's
I
the
just want to let them know that you can listen to
mhm.
Prime Blaq right now on iTunes, so you can have him in the background and in your face at the same
Mhm.
time with Mother Love, the even more fabulous Mother Love, right here on the. And I want you to follow us. Follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Did 2 4, and one of them got a new name. Twitter is now X. Okay, well, I don't
Mhm.
care what it is, as long as it gets out there. Talk about, because you said you pretty much have to do everything.
Yeah.
Besides being, tell people what you're going to be doing, what you're doing, because you're not getting there in there to kickbox, are you?
No, I'm not getting in there to kickbox. Not this time around. If I do get in there, they're gonna pay me a lot of money to do a celebrity fight. So
Oh,
yeah,
you already
obviously
got plans.
I got plans. So any of them celebrities out there who looking to try to get in the ring,
If you could get in the cage with any of them, who
I
would you want to box?
I'm
Who
not
would you want
saying
to
no
kick?
names. They all can get the smoke. I'm not saying no names. They all can
You
get the
say,
smoke.
oh, okay,
They all
some
can
of
get
this
the
Prime
smoke.
Blaq
They
all
can
over.
all that blackout, black and blue. So I ain't even tripping on that part. But no,
So,
me getting in the ring, I'm gonna be performing. I'm gonna be performing for a 20-minute intermission set between the fights. That's why I was
mhm.
saying before I even get to that, I wanted to highlight on the fair fight thing. Now, the difference between a fair fight thing is being in the streets fighting unfairly. This is a fight that is sanctioned by governing rules and a body and the sports associations to be able to make sure that these fighters are protected. So it has to be a fair fight. There's things that happen in fights, like getting kicked in the groin or anything like that, that may seem unfair, and things in fights happen. So it's like, okay, I just wanted to clear that up, that the fighting body and the rules of the fighting industry, they do come out to be fair in that capacity. Like, you just can't eye poke somebody. That's different than a street fight. So I just wanted to clear that up.
Wait a minute,
But
you in the ring, they could poke you in the eye?
no, they can't do
Oh,
any of that.
okay.
That's why I'm saying, like, it has to be a fair fight. It's
Oh, I
sanctioned by
now I
certain
mean I
rules.
understand now,
Yeah,
because that's regulated and they have
yeah,
rules and
yeah,
regulations.
yeah,
What would us common people,
yeah.
what would surprise us most about some of the rules in Muay Thai? And should we, educate ourselves on that? Because I've seen boxing matches when the people in the audience just screaming,
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm like, both of them getting the crap beat out of them. Which one are
Mhm.
we rooting for? I don't know.
So you
I'm
can't
rooting for them to come out alive.
so you can't do no eye pokes. You can't, like, stick your finger in somebody's mouth, anything like that. You can't do 12 to 6. So 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock,
Mhm.
meaning like right on the top of the head, like anything on the top of the crown of the head or on the back of the neck or anything like that, you can really like disorientate somebody. You can actually paralyze and kill somebody in those capacities. So that's why fighting is sanctioned. Like you're licensed. You're a licensed weapon because you can actually damage and
Hurt
hurt
somebody.
somebody. Yes. There's different rules. I mean, there's different rules because you got different governing bodies in America, and you got different government in Thailand, which is the
Ah,
original facilitator of that. So, there's certain kicks you can do out there that you can't do out here. There's certain like at the event, amateurs don't use their elbows. If they use their elbows, they have to have a padding on it. So there's a lot of protection and regulatory rules when it comes to that. Rules. I don't know all the rules, so I'm not going to act like I know all the rules right now. But I know that can't hit nobody after the basic ones that we know about the fighting and sporting and boxing industry.
You said,
Anyways.
you said, you can't put your finger in somebody's eye. You can't put your fingers in somebody's mouth.
Yeah.
So they're not wearing boxing gloves. They're just they got something on their hands.
No, they're wearing boxing gloves.
Oh, they do wear boxing gloves.
Yeah, they do wear boxing gloves.
That'd be kind of strange trying to put your boxing glove in some.
That's why I say it's different governing bodies, because you have fights that have gloves, and then you got the raw ones in the middle of the jungle where they don't have any gloves and they have wraps. And so there's a difference between the fighting aspects in that capacity, but you're not going to be having a glove in somebody's mouth or something like that. But you just have to be mindful of something like that. You're grabbing behind the head. You can't yank somebody down. I mean, you can't kick nobody on the ground. I mean, that's a given. I mean, that's one. But I won't be in there fighting this time around. I haven't had my own actual fight. I sparred a lot
But you
all the
would.
time. Oh yeah, I would. I spar all the time. I spar all the time.
Well,
I
if
love
that's
sparring.
something that you want to do, baby, you just let Mother Love know when you want to do that, and like give me like a 2-month window, because if you want to get in the ring and have somebody punching on you, I wish I could take a life insurance policy out on anybody who gets in a cage and say, I want to fight. This could be fun. I'm fascinated with the mentality and I'm happy that people have that mentality. I don't, and I stay on my. And you see me fighting, you better know I got a knife.
It's therapy for me. It's therapy for me, just like music. It's therapy for me because all of the pain and the stuff I went through in life, instead of punching somebody, I rather punch a punching bag so I can be nice to that person. Because if I'm not nice to them, I might maul their face. And so the best thing that I can do is just
I'm
trying to prevent them and let them know that you are in danger. And I'm trying to let you know that, hey, you just need to back up. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be peaceful. I hit the bag. I already got my aggression out. You're adding more to it. I need to go back and hit the punching bag now so I can avoid the scenarios right now. But I'm not going to be in the ring. I'm going to be the one performing. So I'm going to be jamming out, keeping everybody live, and put on a great performance. So I'm going to be
keeping everybody wired and live, wired and live. It's going to be a fun time to be had by
It's going to be fun.
Now, who is the audience? Because you have men and women who are going to be Muay Thai kickboxing. So talk to us about the audience and how they relate to this and how they react.
So for me, I definitely wanted to cater to the audience as best as I possibly can, because you got men that are going to be in there, and the men are definitely coming because the ladies are there, of course. But I think the men are just going to appreciate an artist like me being able to get on stage and rock it out like a straight hip hop MC that's coming out that with the same energy like the fight entry music. Like when you come into the ring, they'll appreciate that energy of a person who is involved in the art as well, to come out like if it's that ring music, as well as the ladies would appreciate it. That I'll have the subtle music for the ladies as well. So I have music that is going to be catered to every part of the audience and fan base there, whether it's old or young. I'm going to have the motivational song. I'm going to have the song that's the fight song that's going to amp everybody up. I'm going to have the song that's going to be related to the people that try to deny and defy you and reject you. Don't waste your time on these people.
How do you deal with rejection? Because a lot, especially the people behind us, they don't seem to me to have good coping skills.
I
not
embrace
making
it.
good, smart decisions. And especially when you're supposed to be an adult in the room. I don't know if you heard the story about the one of the representatives from Colorado. Her name is Lauren Bobart,
Mhm.
and she got. I mean, and I've been kicked out of a bunch of stuff. Okay,
Mhm.
I've been. Trust me, David. Mother Love, we need you to move. We need to take you out of Madison Square Garden. So I
Mhm.
know when, and that wasn't my fault. It was not my fault that I got kicked out of Madison Square Garden. I'm not a politician. I can handle that. This is a politician. She is being paid by her constituents, and she's sitting in a
Mhm.
stage performance of Beetlejuice, vaping, what, singing all loud, just acting a plumb fool. And that's what I'm saying. People have to understand when you're in a position and other people
Mhm.
behind you are looking up at you and looking up to you, there's a certain way that you need to conduct yourself. And
Mhm.
I appreciate that you said earlier in our conversation that I'm gonna say it. Dare I say it? Oh my God. That there needs to be integrity, there needs to be accountability, and that's across the board.
Yeah.
When you talk about the bad things that happen in your life, what were some of the coping skills you used, and what was the hardest thing for you to get through as you were coming, through the music industry?
Uh, um,
No,
just
look at
keeping the
me, look
faith.
at me. Okay, there
Just
you
keeping
go.
the faith.
We want to see your face.
Just keep. Yeah, I had to ponder on it
Mhm,
because that's a deep question. It's layered, but just keeping the faith. I think that
mhm,
really just kept me in line with everything going on because I went through my own mental health issues. When my mom passed, my father passed, my grandmother passed. Went through breakups and makeups and breakups again. Lost friends, and so Muay Thai and music definitely, and BMW, Bible music and working out.
mhm.
Me staying in my Bible, me staying consistent with my music. When so many people walked away, they quit, they gave up, they didn't want to do it anymore. I've been pursuing it, and just working out. I think the working out just kind of, when you're working out and when you're working out, you're not thinking ex-girlfriend. You're not thinking
No,
about somebody passed away. You're thinking about getting the next breath so you can breathe
right.
and live your life. And so to get through that, when I lost the people I lost, it was hard because that's the time when that's when you take notes of who's riding, until the wheels fall off. And so I've lost record deals. I've lost a lot. And so I've dealt with the rejection since I was born.
Mhm. Mm.
I've been stabbed as a kid. My father wasn't there. Like I've been did so many different things. And so for me to like cope through life, the industry had nothing on like Denzel said, King Kong ain't got nothing on me. So the industry didn't really have nothing on me. Like
Mm,
they're lucky to have me.
mm,
And that's how I look at it. And I say with integrity, like my life experiences have humbled me enough to have that integrity. Like you're only hateful if you're not grateful. And I'm so grateful that the lessons became a blessings, and the blessings were the lessons. And so I took a lot in consideration from that to like when I do get on stage, I try to represent with the bestest and high integrity of the people that have walked this earth before me. So if I can, rock
oh, oh, oh,
and
wait,
do it
wait,
proud,
stop.
yeah. Mhm.
We do not do if, maybe, woulda, shoulda, coulda, I hope. No. You got to get in there and you're doing the doggone thing. You're not trying to do anything unless you're just trying to not cuss. But you're doing it. You're not trying.
Yes, I
You
am.
are doing this. You are making progress. Speaking of making progress, tell people about the event coming up on September 23rd.
It's gonna be so dope. It's gonna be sold out. It's gonna be so many people there from all over, from the Bay Area, from Arizona, from overseas. You got people that are really coming out here to come and see this event. You have you have women fighting. You have people that are there to network. Come out and have a good time. Like that's really what it is. Like my family and friends are gonna be there. There's people that have not seen me perform ever, and it's people that have not seen me perform in a long time. So it's going to be pretty interesting. And the people that are there, it's going to be exciting to see people who have seen me around and know me, but have
Mhm.
never seen me spit not one bar. And so I can't wait to see the looks on their face of them seeing me in my
You
moment
can
that I,
actually see your audience. Usually,
yeah,
when you're up on stage,
mm,
you don't see anybody. You can hear them, but you don't see
yeah,
anybody. I would always
I,
say
pl-
when I was doing
yeah,
stand up, I cannot see them, and I work on on the human connection. I'm just not. I did it a couple of times. Just stood up there or sat up there and did my thing. I couldn't see them. I'm like, if we had like some of the house lights up, so I can make sure that people I can see them and they can see
Yeah.
me.
And that might be the case.
That you
Yeah, that
won't be
might
able
be
to
the
see
case.
me.
Yeah, I mean, because I might be blacked out by that time. But I know that I'll be engaged with it the moment that I have to be focused, obviously. But the event is going to be it's going to be a great experience. I'm going to have my memorability there, my hats, my T-shirts. People can
Oh, you
purchase.
got merch.
I got merch there. People can purchase. They're going to see the QR codes everywhere, so you can scan, you can donate, tip, you can be able to just put in your orders like that.
When
and just
do you
experience.
have time to do
And
all of this? And what else?
you make time. I make time.
You do music, you make music, you
Yeah.
produce. What other hats are you wearing, and what are you working on now? Because Muay Thai, everybody's gearing up for this, and everybody's gonna be on a high all night, Friday, Saturday night, and Sunday. I'm probably gonna be sleeping in on Sunday. I'm just telling y'all know a lot of this jumping down, and I know it's gonna be real people, And so after this, what are you planning, or what else are you doing besides, like, you got time to do it, but what else are you doing?
I'm working on so much. So on the 23rd, I'm releasing my album Knock Knock Who's There? I'm Back.
Oh, I like that.
Yes. And then it's building up. So I'm throwing out all the music that I have, culminated with a lot of artists that I've worked with over the years. And so I'm going to be throwing out this chum all the way into the end of the year, maybe every week or every month until the end of the year. People are going to get new music from me all the way to build up into the anticipation for my next big R&B and hip hop album. Those are going to be 2 different albums. So that's the work that I'm doing now. Then I'm working on a book, my own book. I'm working on 2 TV scripts, comedy and a drama. I'm also working on these businesses. I want to be able to build Wakandas across America and the world. That's really my biggest hat that I'm wearing right now, is to be able to create to create that pathway, like I said, for artists to be able to promote themselves, to be able to perform, because as an artist, we should be able to have the greatest access to be able to perform across the whole country. There should
around
be
the world.
around the world. There should be an interoperable system for artists to be able to connect. So I want to be able to build that with my music exposure. So I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of things that I want to do to aspire to. I need the help. I need the supporters. So anybody who's an
We
investor
all
out
need
there,
help. We all need
so everybody's out there.
and we got to look out for each other. That whole jealousy thing is not going to get you, I, or anybody who is working to go to the next level in whatever they're doing. And so what I found is so many people, you brought this up earlier, that there's a little jealousy, like, someone's like, well, who do you think you are, Prime Blaq? You in the music industry, we running this. Why can't we have control of your masters? Why can't we tell you what to say or what to do? What you really are not serious about this business because you won't let us control you. And because they get like that. And that's when you got to have that integrity, accountability, and you got to have the right kind of demeanor. And is there a right kind of demeanor to conduct yourself in the industry? And how have you seen how people's attitudes have changed?
Their
And
attitudes
for the better.
Their attitudes have changed because of the way our world has changed. And so the problem that we run into now is that people have lost themselves spiritually and have attached themselves to all of these monetary belongings. And so the most dangerous place that I think for anybody is between a powerless man and woman and their dollar. I feel like that's the most powerless point where somebody's going to do something desperate. They don't, and they're willing to sell their catalog, or they're willing to sign that record deal, or work a job that won't really help them and benefit them, and it might be detrimental to the next man and woman. And so I live by karma. Like I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna get myself involved in something knowing that it's gonna come back to hurt me or my loved ones. And so the best thing for me to do, and the best thing for the next person to do, is to love one another, love yourself, love thy neighbor, know thyself, build upon that. The industry is not, it's not about the industry, it's about the people. And I think because we've allowed the industry to intimidate us with this affect that. Oh, because you don't have, and we the big industry, you need us. Like, not at this capacity now in the world that we're living in now, where it's been digitized. I can still go out and do it from a grassroots level and still make more money than ever if I was attached to a company that wanted to take everything from me, because they think that because I don't have those specific numbers, I have ground numbers. The numbers that I have across this whole world is way different than whatever technical numbers you want to talk about. That's cool. That's your system, whatever, like that. But I know that I can sit here and walk across this whole country and I look like a mythological unicorn, but people know who I am. And I know that I can sit here and rock any crowd in any location because I'm not intimidated by what they want me to do. They're scared about, I want to do what I want to do. And what I want to do is to have my way and do it my way and live in God's plan for me.
And he
And
has a plan for you. He has a plan for
yeah,
all of us.
oh,
And it's just a
yes.
lot of people don't want to step into their purpose, get in the lane that has been assigned to them because, oh, it looks too big. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Well, let me tell you from somebody who said that was too big. I didn't know what to do. It was stupid. I had a stupid conversation with God. And you had said this earlier. God got a sense of humor because I'm pleading my case. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what I want to do. And he came to me real clear. See, when you have a relationship with the source, with the higher power, with the Almighty, you're going to hear that in your voice. You're going to hear that in your heart. I'm there. I'm the way, the truth, and the light. That's a big deal to me. So I was like, okay, well, wait for 1 minute. Why you want to send me there? Well, why not you? Well, what am I going to do? Don't worry about that. Well, how am I going to get it? Don't worry about that. Well, I want to do so-and-so. Do you know that I love you in spite of yourself, you doofus chick? This is what you're going to do. And this is how I got a plan. And sometimes it just seems to fall all in order. And even when you get out of order, when you get rejected by people, you know how to pick your pieces up and keep going. Is it hard for you to sever relationships that you know are not working for you anymore?
It used to be. It used to be. Now it's not. It's so easy now to just literally cut it off. Just because I have more, I have to keep my. If I'm gonna fall, I need to fall forward.
Oh, that's what you got to do. I found that out one day. I was trying to see this guy don't like ugly. This is why I know he got a sense of humor. I'm trying to sneak out of a party that the group I was involved with, they were hosting it. And so I was like, I think I'm just gonna raise up out of here because I want to go someplace lively. This was in the wintertime in Ohio at the Ohio State University. So I got all the way to the front door. Nobody saw me. I got all the way out from the vestibule, all the way out on the walkway, and it had steps. And as soon as I went to take the first step, I fell forward, flat on my face, and was laying down on it was only like 4 or 5 steps, laying down like, oh, now you got to get up, dust yourself off. Okay, so that's falling forward. And that's when I got that lesson. Laying in the snow, trying to sneak out of a party. I'm like, oh no, that's never going to happen again. I learned from it. What has been a few of the biggest things that you've done in your life that has changed your life and the way that you move through your career and keeping yourself grounded? What did you learn about Prime Blaq during this journey so far? Because you're gonna learn a whole lot of more else stuff.
I learned that I am a very, very strong man. I've learned that I can handle everything that has come my way. I know that as long as I don't give up and quit and keep riding until the wheels fall off, I'm going to get to that destination.
And sometimes you don't even know. I was talking to somebody who wants me to come to an event, and they sent me the intro letter, and they said, to the legendary radio and television personality, Mother Love. And I'm like, wait, what's somebody legendary? I'm doing what God told me to do. I'm like you. I tell them, come take what you need from Mother Love. And through your music, you allow them to come and take what you need from Prime Blaq. Again, tell people how they can come out to the Muay Thai Kickboxing Girls Night Out 3. I left out something else, 412, 428, 420.
It's the Cali 48. It's the Cali 48. It's the Cali 48 Girls Night Out 3 at the Commerce Casino. You come out and see me perform live, Prime Blaq. Shout out to Big Troy Promotions. Shout out to Tova Sports. Shout out to the Commerce Casino and Hotel putting this grand, beautiful event together. It's going to be crazy. Come out and dance on somebody. Come get drunk. Just come out and
Don't
go
tell them come
gamble.
get
Don't
drunk.
come get
You know,
drunk.
the
You've been
Uber
working
driver's
that
gonna make a
job.
killing
You,
coming out of that
they're gonna
event.
that's all right. I was everybody's favorite Uber driver. So
So
I
you're
know.
not afraid of
So
hard work. You're not
I'm
afraid.
not afraid of hard work. Everybody who comes to this event gonna see me working hard. You're gonna see me in the lines. You're gonna see me
You know
networking with
what?
everybody. You're gonna
And
see me
I can
selling
just
my
tell you this
merch.
right
I don't
now.
play.
Yeah, they're gonna see it, and they're not gonna even get what you had to do, what you've gone through to get this out there, to get the word out there. All they're gonna see is, oh man, Prime Blaq is out there. Oh, he just showed up. Oh, I could go get a T-shirt. I could get a hat. I could get, and I love your logo. I mean, tell people the name of your company.
It's $1 Billion Bangers.
Oh, we have to say it like that.
You gotta say it like Dollar Bangers.
And I know y'all didn't think he was gonna get to see him goofy. Goofball to the 10th power. Let me tell you, just a goofball. What a wonderful personality. So what's coming up next for you on your next big giant project?
So once I finish with this show, it's me starting to work on my television production show.
I'm a TV star.
You're a TV star.
I'm actually a movie star. I'm
gonna go ahead and
more than 3 movies. You're a movie star. I've been in 13 movies. That makes me a bona fide movie star. Okay, that just sounds crazy, but that's the truth. That's what it is. I'm a best-selling author. I was published by 3. Okay, well, it was 2 houses, and one of them with the big division, and another one with that big division in another part of the publishing. And so a lot of people are self-publishing because the publishers want everything. They want everything, and they want your story. And have you thought about? Because I'm sure you do mentoring. Do you go into school since they've taken the arts out? It's crippled a lot of people because they don't have an outlet for that energy.
I think for me, just that opportunity, that lane, that it just hasn't been presented to me yet. That opportunity hasn't opened up for me, but I do mentor and motivate a lot of youth around the country. Even to this day, they actually reach out to me for advice on everything. So I've become the Mr. Everything Man.
All right, Mr. Mr. Everything Man.
Yeah, Mr. Everything Man. So they ask me these questions on how do I deal with this? How do I cope with this? I didn't have a father. I don't have a big brother. You're my big brother. You're my big uncle. I look up to you, and how can what can I do to be better and do better? Because they really, I can see that they don't have that outlet. And so if I can help mentor, and I do it, it's just for the love. I've had just random people come and ask me, and I just help them because we have to help each other. As much help that I've gotten over my whole lifetime, it'd be a shame if I kept it all after the fact. Yeah, if I didn't distribute it back and tithe it back. That's my tithing. My tithing is back to the kids because they are innocent in the factor of they are innocent to history's blunders and bloopers and things like that. So all they can do is make sense of it, and if they can have somebody like me to be able to be that conduit to kind of convey it out to them as best as they possibly can digest and comprehend it and understand it, overstand it. And so if I
like that, overstand it. That sounds like, and you gotta overstand it. That's what I'll be walking with that one.
If I can plant that seed, I plant seeds where there is no trail because I never know where they may grow. So every interaction I come across, whether it's a young child or it's an elder person, I try to plant that seed in them and let it grow. And so when I do speak to people, I say something with intention for them to leave off in their journey in life, knowing that I left that energy with them. Like, man, I remember him. And that's why I say Prime stands for please remember
what you do, and you get full, and then how do you decompress? Because when you go on stage and you're in front of a live audience and you're performing, it comes from someplace, and you just kind of gotta like empty it all out. Do you leave it all on the floor when you're in that particular venue? And how do you come back? And how do you say, okay, what is your coping thing? Because you be up here like this, way up here, no, I didn't just show my flapping arms. Okay, I told you, so that Prime Blaq can decompress and be filled up at the next venue and at the next venue. You have to have some kind of coping mechanism for
Yeah.
yourself. What is that?
So for me, this is the decompression from a lot of the depression and mental health that I was going through since my mom passed. I don't think I've had a major performance like this since 2017. And so I'm going to be performing in front of a major crowd. And so the things that have led me up into this journey from losing a lot of things, that decompression on stage, like you say, even the work that it's taking just to get to this
Mhm.
show, from the promotional aspect and all of that stuff, to be able to just, as soon as my name is mentioned and I get into those ropes and the first word that comes out of my mouth, that is that is a checkpoint in my, in a part of it's a mini victory lap for me in the long marathon for me. So the decompression comes from me just actually being on
Mhm.
stage and me being able to just lay it all out on the line. When I get off stage, I know that the 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 experience from all of the people rushing me is going to be dope. I think the moment that I get into my room and have a quiet moment, yeah, I'll be able to digest and look at it like, man, you just really pulled all that off. Like all the
Did you scare
driving, the
yourself?
hours.
Sometimes you scare
Yeah,
yourself because
yeah,
you keep moving. You're like,
yeah,
I really
yeah,
am tired, but I got to get up and get
yeah,
this done. I got to go here. I
yeah,
got to pass out
yeah,
flyers. Got to get people to help me
yeah,
with this, you know.
yeah,
And I'm just really pleased and overjoyed for your success and your continued success. I only got two more. Well, it's not going to be two more questions, but two more things I want to
yeah.
ask you about.
Anything,
Uh,
anything.
because you're single and you've never been married, you don't have any kids. What kind of woman are you
Mm.
looking for? I probably know her. And what do you want
Uh,
in a woman? And what is she going to see in you?
wow.
Because I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to say this and why I'm asking that. Because you
Mm.
are a giver, because you are compassionate. And, you know, I've seen you around other women and you want to be helpful. Have you been in one of those relationships that you say, oh, I'm going to be a positive influence on her. I can help her fix this. And then it
Oh
don't
yeah,
get
of
fixed. And
course.
you go, what the heck
Yeah,
was I
yeah,
thinking?
yeah.
That's crazy, man. What were you thinking?
Yeah, that happens to the best of us,
I
and
well,
yeah, it
see, I
happened
don't
to
know.
me.
I've been with the
Yeah,
same man for 400 years, so I.
yeah.
But
It ain't it. It's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to make this money for the rent. You know, the Cadillac and gas money spent. You know, got a whole lot of them jumping ship. So for
he's trying
me,
to
I
drown me
had,
over here because that would have been
yeah,
all over the screen.
I had to be single because shoot, a lot of these girls don't want to get right. I mean, and I had to get myself right
Right. You
before I
got
can
to
even
be
engage
straight
with
before you
somebody.
come to the
Yeah,
table.
so
They
I,
got to
you
be able
know,
to see
like,
what you bringing. And a lot, and
mm,
what I've seen in a lot of young relationships is they don't want to do the work.
I had to do the work.
You got to
I
do
had
the
to be
work to
more.
make it work.
I have to be responsible.
Right.
And if I'm gonna look for somebody, she has to be God fearing. Like God leads my life.
Mhm.
And if she's a God fearing woman, she knows that a God fearing man will lead her, and she would need to be submissive in that capacity to let the union grow in that. You know, but love and loyalty, communication, honesty. You know, just loving me like that. Like not just loving me,
Oh,
but you
and
got to
he could
love God
cook.
first. Yeah. So yeah, yeah. I can cook, clean, all that stuff. I know how to do
Mhm.
everything. I'm Mr. Everything, man. I know that. I know that I'm a great candidate for whoever's out there. But for me, I needed to be a great candidate to myself first because
Absolutely.
I love, and when I love hard. And so for me, I needed to get back and love not only with the Most High, not only with my music and myself. I needed to just find that back again. And that's a troubled thing when you lose yourself in relationships like now. Because a lot of people, I mean, even myself, I found myself, you know, you get attached to something that fills the void of something you lost, and that's not healthy, you know. And if it's not a
It's
healthy
not gonna
filler,
work. It
it's
just
not gonna
is
work.
not gonna
Yeah.
work. And relationships are you
Mm,
they to keep them to make them sustainable, you both have to get in it and do the work. And I think a lot of people
mm,
don't have ground rules. I'm just gonna go, oh, he look good, he
mm,
tall, that's a tall drink of water over there. Oh, he got a nice car, he got a good job. And you talking about everything he has. Well, what are you bringing to the table? Case in point,
and that's
I gotta just tell
yeah.
you this story. So we're on the road, you know, and we stopping to get something to eat, and we on the road, and we going to the fast food restaurant, and we're dressed really nice. He's got on a suit, I got on, we look nice. And so when we walk in, the lady who was waiting on us, she said, "You guys are not from here." I said, "How do you know that?" She said, "Nobody here dresses that well." And I thought, oh. So then I said, and she's a pretty little girl too. And I said, "So what do you want to do? What do you see yourself, in say 5 years?" She said, "Oh, I'm gonna have me a man. He gonna have a nice job. He gonna have a good job. He gonna have a fancy car. He gonna put me up in a big fancy house, and we gonna do this, that, and the third, and travel the world." I said, "You really think a guy gonna walk into this fast food restaurant, see you, and say that this is what you bring to the table? I mean, it's a good thing that you get a job, but really." This is why scripture says, "Do not become unequally yoked to your mate." That means you bring something to the table, I bring something to the table. And instead of us having a table, we got a whole banquet. We can go, in and out, and we can work and grow together. You can grow up and grow old. You can grow up and grow apart. My husband and I, we've been through a lot of patches. The greatest thing that helps us get through it is our faith in God. The fact that we can pray together. We pray every day, no less than 2-3 times a day. This is what we do. So you can get through that. This is a piece of advice I want to give you for when you are on your journey. You'll find it. She'll find you because you'll first be dear, dear friends. When you can marry your dear friend and you got God, your relationship, and everybody that comes after that, because it's going to be you and her against the world. And Satan is busy all the time. He just wait. See, and I got a cure for that. He come knocking on the door. I'm like, "Lord, can you get that fool at my door again?" And he was like, "Open up. You just ain't going to learn. This is not one you're going to get." Bye. So this is my other, I want to ask you. When it's done, say you got wiped off the planet on Sunday. Whenever you get wiped off, because we can't predict that unless you take your own life, and then you can't say you did it because you already did. When you turn around and you see your life, what would you want your legacy to be? Oh, that one got him. We're gonna have another conversation.
That I went hard in the paint. They know that I was that guy who never gave up, and I was a good person to them.
Oh, see,
regardless,
you another one gonna get into heaven. St. Peter gonna go, "Come on in, Prime Blaq. We saw what you did, son. Job well done." Me, I'm gonna have to sit in the mercy seat. I already know. I got forgiveness, and you get it. That's my thing that I play over in my head, and that's what you got to do. So again, you're going to be at the
Commerce Casino
and Hotel. So if you get too drunk, you can get a hotel room.
Get up and go to the hotel. Don't go right past the tables. Don't spend your rent money.
Don't spend your rent money.
Don't spend your rent money. You know that you came out. You was trying to find a man.
Now you well, they might find you at the muaythaikickboxing.
They might find me.
It's Girls Night Out 3. Muay Thai kickboxing with men and women coming up on Saturday. It's coming up on September 23rd. How can they get tickets? Who do they need to call?
They can get in contact with me. They can get in contact with the numbers. There's a PDF file that is attached to this actual. If you go inside of designs.
So can we give them this number for tickets and info?
Yes, you can give them the number.
Okay, let me give you the number, people. Jot it down. Some of us are a little slow, but we still want to go. The number is for tickets and information 562-676-6103. Again, that's 562-676-6103.
The tickets are $45 at the door. You can Cash App. All of my social media is Prime Blaq.
Can they get them get the tickets in advance?
They can get them in advance right now. They get in contact with me. My email is $billion-bangers.
Oh, you told me you have to say it like this. $billion-bangers.
$billion-bangers at gmail.com.
Why bangers? And it's not like bangers, it's bangers.
It's bangers because I'm banging down the door. We're not knocking. We're not being nice anymore. We're kicking it in. It's just
you don't want to let me
just explode.
What
You know,
Dan
this
Brown
ain't.
taught us.
Yeah,
That's what.
yeah.
What is the
But
what
it's
is the biggest lesson or the biggest lessons that you got from your mother? God rest her soul. And we could say this: she's done a job well done with you.
thank you, thank you. Never sweat. I think that was her. That was her mantra. Never sweat. All the work that's going on right now, don't sweat it. You know, you're gonna be all right. Just get her. Joy was her name. That was her nickname that she's always had since I was been born. She's always been a spirit of joy,
That's what
and I
she's
think
Jewel.
she is joy.
Joy. Mm.
Joy, yes. She's always brought happiness and joy to the room. And so my own version of that was please remember I make energy. Was my energy is different from hers, but the energy is still a passionate joy, a fraction of her. She always told me there's no hustler's remorse. Get
You
out here
can't
and get it,
no.
baby.
You fall and get right back up. What the guy
Yeah.
say on the song? We fall down, but we get up because our sinners
Mhm.
just to say because you got to get up. If you fall down 7 times, get up 8
Mhm.
times to make it go. So tell people
And
where they can hear your music. I know you can hear Prime Blaq on iTunes and
you
Spotify
can hear it
and
on.
what else?
You can hear it on.
It's a
You can
bunch
hear
of
it on all. You can hear it on all social media platforms. You look it up. Prime PRIME BLAQ. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, you name it. It's out there. So go ahead and support. Y'all look me up. I'm very available. I do everything. You guys can reach out to me. Any questions you have, I'm on TikTok as well. Yeah, like this show is just so important to me because I've just gone through so much and it's just a great opportunity for everybody who does love
come
me and
out
know
and just
me
have a
and
good
people who
time.
don't and just have a good time. We need that. Like I've been away from my family and friends from taking care of my mom and to COVID and being in relationships and things like that and being on the road working. And so to be back home in LA to do it before this is going to crack off the world tour. So if you are not there,
You
this is
missing
your
out.
golden ticket. You're missing
You're
out. This is your Willy Wonka golden ticket to the beginning of this road. So come and enjoy and join in and be a part of this because it is going to be a beautiful experience from here on out.
Well, Prime Blaq, it has been my distinct honor and pleasure to chat with you. You're going to have great success on your show. Everybody come out. Follow Mother Love on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on X, on they got all the little buttons down here. It's like 11 buttons down here. But all you got to do is what is it? Google The Mother Love Show. Google Prime Blaq. Remember, Prime stands for please remember I make energy. See you.
Yeah.
I remember.
hmm
Thank you, sir. Continue to make that energy and always know you got a place to land. As long as I got a roof over my head, I'm going to have a microphone in front of my mouth so we can
Oh
talk
yeah.
and share and love. You have a great rest of your day. And I'm really humbled and I feel really, really joy to have you out of all the things that you're doing to take time to come and chat with us on the Mother Love Show. So come
Thank
on, you
you.
got something to say? Come, tell Mother Love. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Make sure you take care of your pipes. Make sure you eat good. Wait a minute, is it gonna be food?
It's gonna be
Okay,
food.
that's all I need. Because I work for food.
It's people. Y'all better come out.
Come,
Y'all better come out.
you're gonna
Y'all
miss
come
it.
and enjoy
You're
yourself.
going to
Yep.
miss it, and we don't want
The
you to miss
Commerce
a fun time.
Casino, Cali 48. Cali 48 Girls Night at all the ladies. Bring your ladies out. Bring your girlfriends out. Bring your homegirls out. Y'all
How your
come out.
mama
Tickets
come
is
out with you?
$45.
Something, do a thing. It's girls' night out.
5 p.m.
Oh, it
5
starts
p.m.
at 5. The party starts at 5. When do the fight
Fight,
start? The boxing.
the
It's not
fight
fighting.
start. The fight start at 5 p.m. on Saturday.
Oh, well, this.
I go on stage in the middle of intermission between all 18 fights.
Oh, it's 18 fights.
Yep.
So how do you know when do you know you're a winner? Did they kick you down? You don't get up?
Either you get knocked out or by the end of all the rounds and you get your hand
Oh, okay.
raised. That's
Like
how you find out you're a winner.
what do they say? By a hold the spit decision or whatever it is they say in
Yep.
boxing. I don't know where my
Mhm.
boxing voice just came from. Thank you, Prime Blaq. You be
Thank
blessed.
you.